Children, you welcome this session. This is lesson 12. I recall you had work with teacher Aloy in the past lesson, that's lesson 11, and you had some activities. There were actually 10 numbers. According to the reports and your responses, we have only 4 issues that we're supposed to discuss. So we're starting with the corrections of those 4 items, and here we go. Question 1, which was number 3. How was River Nile a major factor for the coming of early explorers to Uganda? Solution: most explorers to Uganda came to find the source of River Nile. Same as early explorers to Uganda were interested in getting or finding the source of River Nile. Number 7. State 2 reasons why explorers to East Africa first visited Zanzibar. Solutions: to get guides, to get guards, to get porters, same as to get workers, to get letters of introduction. Number 5. Give a reason why most explorers to East Africa entered through Tanzania instead of Kenya, which was a shorter route. Children, in this question, look at the 2 aspects, Kenya and then Tanzania. So this one is a comparison question, and in this comparison question, the elements of comparison or the degree of comparison should come out clearly, where Kenya should be likened to Tanzania. Why was this point entering through Tanzania, a longer route than Kenya? Solution: Tanzania, people of Tanzania were more hospitable than those of Kenya. Same as the people of Tanzania were friendlier than those of Kenya. Next question, number 10, which is, how was the Royal Geographical Society helpful to early explorers to Africa? Solutions: 1. The Royal Geographical Society funded early explorers to Africa. Children, we now want to get to today's lesson, and the lesson is major explorers in East and Central Africa. Right? So in this, we want to see the major explorers. In our P5 and P6 work, we learned about quite many explorers, but in this lesson, we want to talk of the major explorers in East and connect them to Central Africa. They are over there. 1, John Speke. We can see E on the other, East on the other side. Sir Samuel Baker or Sir Samuel White Baker. We can see East on the other side, meaning they majorly emphasized or where their major effort was in East Africa. We can also see Dr. David Livingstone, East and Central Africa. We can also see Henry Morton Stanley, East and Central Africa. So I want us to recall that traveling requires much money. Therefore, these people here were funded. We now want to look at the funding in relation to other issues of exploration. So, who funded? Same as who sponsored or who sent. We want to look at this in 3 folds or 3 forms. Form number 1, we shall look at the geographical societies or geographical agents or organs. To begin with, the RGS, full form Royal Geographical Society. That one sent most explorers in Africa. It sent most explorers in Africa. I think in P4, P5 class, you had this answered quite many times. The question is or was, name the organization that sent most explorers. And the ultimate answer is the Royal Geographical Society. Short form RGS. Look at these children. In the next lesson, you're going to learn with teacher Aloy that AA is African Association, but we can also call it African Association of Britain. That one sent most explorers in West Africa. So next lesson, when teacher always talks about that, you just recall that, yeah, this AA is African Association, same as African Association of Britain, sent most explorers in West Africa. So those are some of the geographical societies, geographical groups that sent explorers. Second aspect here is newspaper companies or newspaper groups. The New York Tribune and the New York Herald are the major newspaper companies that sent explorers here in Africa. The third aspect is governments or countries. Portugal, in our topic, subtopic when we're discussing explorers into Africa, into who went around Africa, we discussed Portugal, and also Britain is one of the countries that sent explorers. Children, we want to carry on forward, and we see these individual explorers that we feel are of major importance to us. Let's carry on. John Hanning Speke. Look at that. That's how that person looked like. He looks good, handsome. He was a British, and what do we know about him again? He was the first European explorer to come to Uganda. I hope that was one of the questions you answered in the other text, and I hope you passed it. What else? He was sponsored by the RGS. I've written RGS here in short form, knowing that you recall what it is in its full form. That is Royal Geographical Society. He made 2 journeys to East Africa. The first journey was in 1858 to discover the source of River Nile. The second journey was in 1862 to prove whether Lake Victoria was the source of River Nile. Children, those are the basics about that person. Let's carry on and see his contributions. Contributions of John Hanning Speke. He discovered the source of River Nile, same as the first European to see source of River Nile. He saw and named Lake Victoria. He was the first European explorer to come to Uganda, like we said earlier on. He saw and named Ripon Falls. Now, note, 1. The natives or the local people in Uganda here had already seen the source of River Nile. Therefore, it's not right for us to say John Speke was the first European the first person to see the source of River Nile. Our own people had seen that source earlier on. Also, note this, that the natives and local people of Uganda had a local name for Lake Victoria. So we cannot say that John Speke was the first person to see Lake Victoria. He named it, but our own people had also another name for it. Let's get another person. No, let's first see a map. A map showing John Speke's exploration journeys. Remember, I said there were 2 journeys. Let's look at that map. I hope we can see that red line. The red line over there is indicating his first journey. So we shall discover that in the first journey, he actually guessed right that another lake up there was the source of River Nile, but not this lake here. So he came the second journey. Second journey is connoted by that pink line. It's over there. And the second journey, he followed River Nile up to the northern part. So red is indicating the first journey, and purple is indicating the second journey. So this map shows exploration journeys of John Hanning Speke. Let's carry on the next person. Look at those people there. They are 2 people. One is a lady, the other is a gentleman. In our P5 class and P6, we must have talked about that person. Can you guess who that person was? Perhaps not. Let me add some other things to guide you. He entered Uganda from the north, or he entered Uganda from the north following River Nile. Can you now guess? Do you think your first guess was right? Perhaps you cannot. Let me add. He made 2 journeys to Uganda. Who is these children? Check if you have passed. This person is Sir Samuel Baker. So what do you recall about Sir Samuel Baker? Let's see. His first journey was to discover the source of River Nile. I hope you recall about that actually he failed to discover it. He found John Speke, and John Speke told him, "Oh, my brother, I've been seeing this." Let's see the second journey. Second journey was to establish Egyptian rule in Uganda, or he came as an administrator of the Equatorial Province. Let's understand these journeys better based on his contributions. 1, as an explorer, and 2, as an administrator. So we are going to judge or to look at this person's contribution based on 2 aspects. Aspect 1, as an explorer. Aspect 2, as an administrator. As an explorer, he saw a named Lake Albert. As an explorer, he saw a named Maction Falls. So as an explorer, we talk about this person in relation to Lake Albert and Maction Falls. As an administrator or an agent of the Equatorial Province, 1, he stopped slave trade in northern Uganda. 2, he built Fort Partico near Gulu, or we can as well just say he built Fort Partico. 3, he was the first governor of the Equatorial Province. Dr. David Livingstone. He looked like that. He was a Scottish doctor. He was a Scottish doctor, a missionary, and also an explorer. He made 3 journeys to Africa. So we are going to get concerned so much with 2 journeys because the first journey was made in South Africa, or it was made to South Africa, but the topic, remember, subtopic is East and Central. So first journey we shall talk about to find out whether River Zambezi was navigable, and next was to discover the source of River Nile. Contributions. 1, he saw Victoria Falls on River Zambezi. Actually, he saw a named Victoria Falls on River Zambezi. 2, he fought against slave trade in East and Central Africa. 3, he spread Christianity in East and Central Africa. He saw River Limpopo and River Lualaba in DRC. Look at that gentleman. Children, that person is one of the famous people in relation to major exploration of East and Central Africa. Who is that? Is Morton Stanley. What do you know about him? He made 3 journeys to East Africa. Journey 1 was to look for Dr. David Livingstone in 1871. Journey 2 was aimed at 2 aspects. 1, to complete the work of Dr. David Livingstone, and also to prove whether Lake Victoria was the source of River Nile. 3, to rescue Emin Pasha. But look at the 3rd journey. In the 3rd journey, he never came as an explorer. Therefore, in his exploration route or a map showing his exploration, we shall not have journey 3. Reason, journey 3 was not an exploration journey. So let's carry on and see his contributions. Let's first have some other additions to see the journeys in relation to sponsorship. First journey was sponsored by the RGS. Second journey was sponsored by the New York Tribune, New York Herald, and then third journey, New York Tribune. Contributions. 1, he was the first European explorer to reach the foot of Mount Rwenzori, or the floor of Mount Rwenzori, or the lower levels, lower parts of Mount Rwenzori. He saw a named Mount Rwenzori, Mountain of the Moon. He wrote a letter inviting Christian missionaries to Uganda, same as to Uganda. So let's see a map showing his exploration journeys. Like we said, we're going to target 2 journeys. The journey in red, this journey was aimed at rescuing Dr. David Livingstone, or finding Dr. David Livingstone, the one in red. And also journey 2, this journey where he circumnavigated the lake and then went towards this side to see the mountain over there. Then he proceeded to go to DRC. That was his second journey. Children, I want us to talk about contributions. We have been talking about contributions, but we want to liken the word contributions to examination situations. Let's see this. The word discoveries. We also look at the word achievements. We also look at the word gains. Also the word accomplishment or accomplishments. All these things are related in that the word gains or accomplishments has the same meaning as discoveries. Also, the word discoveries has the same meaning as achievements. Equally, the word achievements means gains or accomplishments. Now, examination meaning. One may say, why is perhaps Dr. David Livingstone remembered in the story of Africa? Or why is H.M Stanley remembered in the exploration history? In that question, the word remembered also means discover, also means achievement, also means gains or contributions. We could also have other meanings or other questions, such as, how is H.M Stanley connected to missionary work in Uganda? The word connected in here is also meaning contributions, discoveries, achievements, or gains. We could also say, why do Ugandans remember H.M Stanley? So I just want to remind you that remember that the words discover, the word achievement, the word gain, accomplishment is in for contributions like we've been using it. I want to say thank you very much, children. Thank you for being a good audience. We shall be meeting if coronavirus helps us to disappear. Let's keep praying. Let's keep following all the precepts that are telling us. Also, remember to carry on the activities that we have put there. In the next work, we shall have a lengthy time for activities because we have not answered like 3 activities. So we shall have lengthy time for activities. I love you so much. Bye for now.